It's week 3 in the NFL, and it's week 2 on Big Football Energy on Fourth and Forever with Cap and Mark. Let's get it. Get that off your face. There you go. There he is. There's Jason.
Now we're talking.
What's up, dude? Great Thursday night game. I think it's so funny. I played golf earlier in the day on Thursday, and this older gentleman was just like, Miami's gonna win that game, and everyone laughed at him. But when it was 21-21, I was thinking about that group that laughed at him, and they're like, damn, I should have bet on that. Because there's a 12 and a half point spread.
And then your boy Tua did what Tua does.
That's right. I did hit on, if you're following me at all on any social media and on Big Bet Energy, which by the way has like no followers. That's on you guys. Like we're winning. I think we're winning at like a 75% clip. So if you don't want to make money, that's up to you. So we did Tua throwing a pick, one or over, and he did at the end, predictably, and also Shakur over 40 receiving yards, which was tight because he had 30 and then he got to score a 15-yard touchdown pass end of the game. So we snuck by with our first parlay pick of the weekend.
Love it. Yeah, love it. That was a big one, dude. And that over hit right at the end, I made $2.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good day for me.
2.
Good night for me.
Yeah, to be clear, the units that I'm using are like, I don't ever bet above, on a spicy day, if I'm really up, maybe $50, but the where I kind of are in that realm of $20-$25. Like that's one unit for me. I'll do a bonus parlay at like 10. Like I think I sent you one that was like a 6-teamer that would have won like $800, and it was like $10 to win $800. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I'm just trying to keep my DraftKings account alive, and I had $3 going into last night, up to 5. 5 versus 1 is way different, so we got some cushion. We're hanging in there.
Now you got 5 bets. Now you got 5 potential bets.
Exactly. I'm in the lap luxury now.
Yeah. So the biggest storyline in the NFL has to be, outside of, we just had a game, quarterbacks injuries. In particular, the two biggest ones, and the biggest one is Joey B. Joe Burrow. Likely, is that for the season? He got 3 months.
Like, I'm hearing the Bengals season, but either way, you're probably not coming back to a playoff team. So more or less, I feel like the season's over.
And the irony of all of this is the Bengals usually get off to a horrendous start and then go on these runs when they get their offense together, are 2-0. And now they don't have Joe Burrow.
I know.
Tell me what the mindset in Cincinnati is looking like. Did we just lose you?
We've got
are you hiding? Are you hiding?
Absolutely wild. But at the same time, though, they have gotten off to a terrible start, which is what's funny. Like, they've not played good football. They did everything but give the Browns that game, 7 yards of net yards in the second half there against a horrible Browns team. But I don't know. I think they have enough to compete. That defense is just – it's going to be interesting. It's another Bengals season. It's a complete wild card. But it does look like that season is over, which – it's interesting seeing Cincinnati teams in the public light and seeing Stephen A. talking about Joe Burrow. And I'm interested to hear your viewpoint as someone who's not in this city. Like, where do you go from here? Where does Burrow go from here? What's the organization thinking? What are your overall thoughts here?
I'm just going to sound wild because I know people are going to think I'm crazy, but I don't dislike Jake Browning as a quarterback. I think he's not Joe Burrow. He's not going to, I don't know if you're going to win a Super Bowl with him, but you didn't win one with Joe. You got close. And you got a lot of weapons, man. Anybody in this league that can spin it, that has Jamar Chase, that has T. Higgins, you even have like Noah Fant as a tight end. That's a pretty big body. So yeah. All right. In typical Bengals fashion, Jason completely lost everything, and we couldn't hear him. And I'm ranting about how Jake Browning is actually a decent quarterback and has a lot of weapons, and then he goes dark. So I think he maybe had like an aneurysm and it was just like, I don't want to hear this, and kind of can't. Now he's back. But no, I literally was saying that I think anytime you have the type of weapons that the Bengals have, if you can protect your quarterback, if he's functional, win some games. Like, this team may end up making the playoffs. They're not gonna win a Super Bowl. But what are your thoughts?
I'm not going to Super Bowl with that attitude. I needed a second. You know what I mean? I'm emotionally, invested here. I mean, I think they're going to be enough to compete, though, and I think that's the problem with these organizations like the Giants and the Bengals is they give you enough to stay invested in the season. Now, me knowing better now is like F this season. If I was a Bengals fan, I'd be like F this season. This is a complete fun season. I don't care. This team's not going to do anything, but they're going to do just enough. Jamar Chase is going to make enough plays. They're going to make enough plays where you can be like, okay, we got a shot. They're going to stay in games. Their schedule's not too bad, other than obviously the division. I think this team. Okay, I'm going to give you a hot take. I think they're going to go seven. Not a hot take at all, but I'm going to give you a prediction. They go 7-10, the wheels fall off at the very end. And I think maybe Burrow comes back the last two games.
Yeah, but so here's the thing: you're 2-0. You're going to the Vikings, who look atrocious with JJ McCarthy, and now he's hurt. So now it's the battle of the backups. You're facing Carson Wentz.
Upgrade for the
maybe
Vikings,
it's an upgrade, but still, but my point is like you can't. I don't even know what the line is there. Like I honestly think that's probably like a 3-point spread, because usually when the Vegas is kind of like, meh, it's about even. They give about 3 points.
Who knows what happens here, man? And like it would not shock me if Browning's decent. And like you can't.
He was a great college quarterback.
Yeah, he's not a bad quarterback. So it would not shock me if you get some lightning in a bottle here. But I think in this kind of situation, you could get short-term lightning in a bottle, but at some point the wheels fall off. Like he might look good for 2 to 5 weeks, and then it gets ugly.
And part of that too is like if that defense continues to be not great, like it hasn't been in the Joe Burrow era, like where they need to have these like stretches where he has to be perfect. Like wasn't there a game last year where he threw for like 450 yards and they lost? Like your boy Russell Wilson.
Dangerous, let's ride. My boy. We'll talk about that in just a second. I was hyped. That's my boy. When we started getting official, you and me, I said, let's ride. I think I'm going to take a Russell Wilson. I'm probably going to buy some gear for next week's show. I'm already looking at stuff. But do you think, this is my last little take on Burrow, do you think that he's going to be on the sideline, maybe covering his mouth and chuckling a little bit when Browning's just taking like awful playing in traffic type sacks? Like there's going to be a part of Joe Burrow that's like, see?
Maybe. I think I don't know, man. It's hard because he's so. Have you ever heard that story about his I guess it's like not a psychologist, but like someone that is, I think it was like a sports psychologist. Okay. Did a whole like workup on him. I think he was in high school at the time. And they went to his parents and were like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about Joe and his like personality." And they were like, "Okay." And they're like, "He's either going to be the most successful anything he wants to be, because his heart rate and like his ability to kind of do things under pressure is like off the charts." Mm-hmm. They're like, or he could be like a serial killer,
but a good one,
but a really good, like one that doesn't get caught. Like you would never know. Like he's very like, it's like, when you're in like these highly tense, highly emotional, situations, and a football game is like, it would be like having a panic attack for 3 hours straight. Yeah. So like, but he doesn't feel that. So I don't know, man. Like he's a hard guy to read. Even on that like Netflix show with quarterback, like he just seems like a really kind of like boring guy.
Yeah, kind of a blank slate to a degree with certain things. I would be interested to know what he's thinking now, because he's probably going to be pretty private for a little while. And I would just love to see what's the mentality for Joe going forward, because I feel like this is a take that I heard too. It's like he kind of asked for the weapons, which is going to obviously make it much tougher to have good protection and have good defense. He asked for Jamar. You know what I mean? That was a big piece for him. So a lot of the things he's asked for, he's gotten. So that's what's kind of tough, is he's kind of made his own bed in some degree, in some facets. Right. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a Bengals apologist by any means. That's a trash organization, in my opinion. No offense.
Right.
But it's interesting because he did want those things. So he kind of, in some ways, made the situation.
But
how he feels.
In another instance, though, like what quarterback doesn't want Jamar Chase? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
of course.
Like, I think the big issue is like, do you need T. Higgins too? Like that to me is the, like I don't. There's in the NFL, there's no such thing as super teams. You have to you get your big number one. Your quarterback has to be sound. You have to have a good left tackle. You have to have guys that can rush the quarterback, and then you kind of have to piece together. I think the biggest thing about depth is you have to hit on draft picks, right? You have to hit on guys in every level, whether it's interior defensive line to middle linebacker to safety to cornerback. Like, you have to have all pro or potential all pro players at every level. If you don't, then every defensive coordinator picks on that region,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So if you have a shit secondary, it's quick passes, or if it's one-on-one coverage, they're throwing it over the top. And if you play soft, they just attack the middle, right? The Giants have been notorious for not being, it's crazy to me, in the last 15 years, not having good linebackers like that can cover. And we literally made Jason Witten a Hall of Famer. Like, shit like that. Like, so like,
tore you guys up.
Tight ends tear up the Giants. Like, you can't have the same identity with this. And if you're always the offensive team, but you get your quarterbacks killed, you might want to start changing the process a little bit.
Yeah, it's a tough look. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and I'm interested to see what happens to this Bengals team. Would you own Jake Browning in fantasy, my guy? Jake Browning or Russ? End of season. I feel like this is a pretty easy take.
Oh, I think you go Jake. I think you got to go Jake because I think at some point, the Bengals are 2-0, dude. Like, teams that start the season 2-0 have like a 80% chance to make the playoffs. So they're going to be in games all year. Russ and the Giants are 0-2. So the knock on the door for Jackson Dart is getting a little bit louder. And it's not because he didn't play well, but
gun to your head, how many starts does Russ get this year?
I said 6 at the beginning of the year before we started the show. If they start off 1-5, he's out. If they start off 0-4, I think he's out. Like, it could be sooner. I think 6 is the max. But if they shock the world against your Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday night, I don't. That first off, I'll get into why that's never going to happen. But if it did happen, then the narrative would start to change a little bit. That, especially if he has a good game.
Can you imagine if they did? I'll come on here going crazy if they win.
No, if they win, if they win against the Chiefs, I will buy a Russell Wilson jersey.
Let's go.
A Giants Russell Wilson jersey. Hell, I'll even find an old school NC State Russell Wilson jersey if I have to.
Wow, that's a poll. Let's ride.
Yep. Let's ride. He's so corny. I love it. I love him, but he's so corny.
Yes, he is. That was amazing, though. I mean, what a game! You're dude. Did you watch the whole thing? Obviously, boys and Giants. Because that 1 o'clock slate, that game just took over. I mean, if you were watching a quad, that game was, you couldn't look away.
It was legit. I mean, it was a great. If you're a fantasy guy like we are,
of course.
I mean, if you had Malik Neighbors, if you had Wan'Dale Robinson, if you had Russell Wilson, if you had Dak, if you had George Pickens, if you had even if you had Javonte Williams, he had a big rushing touchdown, which I cashed in on an anytime touchdown. Thank you very much. So like, listen, I think from the casual observers, fantastic game. From a Giants fan, it kind of was we've always said over the last 10 years, we just want to be competitive. But then you start getting competitive and you're like, how the fuck did we lose that game?
I thought literally there was a moment where we were talking at our little watching party, like, this is over. Like, Russ did it. Because Russ was talking hella shit, which was hilarious when they lost. Because he was, talking his shit, whatever. I'm like, first of all, it's the Cowboys. Like, this is a complete joke game. I mean, we know both of these organizations right now are complete jokes. And I would wonder from a Giants fan's perspective, do you want Russ to do good? Or are you guys just willing just to fast forward to Dart? Because I feel like it's just, you're on borrowed time here. Like, with Russ, this is not a long-term situation.
Yeah, and real quick, I want to show you something because I just found it. I'm pausing. I had to jump in and show Jason this. Okay, so I have a buddy who works for the NFL. He sent me the all 22 of the last play of the game that sent the game into overtime. Look at the depth. You said, what did you say to me when you were watching this game? That Russ did it. The game's over, right?
Yep.
You just said that on the podcast.
1,000%.
I thought so too, but because I'm a Cowboys adjacent, not fan, but my wife is a huge Cowboys fan, and she's sitting there all pissed off. And here's how much of a good husband I am. Okay, I'm gonna pat myself on the back instead of being a douchebag and being like, we're finally gonna beat you. I looked at her and I said, babe, there's 25 seconds left. If they get this ball to the 50, you guys are gonna tie it because homeboy has a bazooka in his leg. And she went, you're right. And I went, okay. So it kind of calmed her down. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, don't let them get to the 50, right?
Please, God.
Well, here's the play. They're on the 33.
Yep.
They just almost intercepted a pass. Just look at the depth right now. The safeties.
What are we doing?
This is as if you need a touchdown.
What are we doing here?
Prevent defense. Crazy. This is as if you have Matt Prater as the coach at 55 years, the kicker at 55 years old, who's shanking 35-yarders. That's Graham Gano on our team can make a 60-yarder. What are we doing?
Insane.
And so just watch. And this is without backpedaling. Now watch these assholes backpedal. And this is all coaching.
Yeah.
There's no sound. So the play's about to start. We're not in Gruden's QB camp here, but everybody's backpedaling. The linebackers, three guys were open.
Oh, I mean, it's just too easy. I mean, you just gave it to them, really. Yeah, you gave it to them.
They handed them an opportunity to win the game. And this is the second play before the game is over, because then they ran it for 4 extra yards.
Yeah.
And because they had a timeout.
Yeah.
I would take this off. But, we're not going to do a ton of like breakdowns like that. But like, that's just something that someone sent to me. Like, and the title was a fireable offense.
I mean, it is.
Because it is.
It's malpractice.
It's coaching malpractice. And then Shane Bowen, who's our defensive coordinator, said, "Oh yeah, I wish we would have played a little tighter to the sticks."
No shit.
Wow.
That's some good analysis.
Deep thoughts with Shane Bowen. Like, what are we doing, bro?
How much you getting paid to have that take? Crazy work. But the Giants are going to giant, and I'm sure it was a better day in your household after that. It was probably a win for your household.
My wife is great when it comes to this. She also knows that Cowboys are a joke. She can't stand Jerry Jones. She is absolutely. I've been in bars before with her where she's said a few things out loud that I'm like, relax. She's a Cowboys fan. And I've had to kind of like quell a few things. So like, listen, like any football fan, especially if, in those days, the drinks used to flow, things can get a little dicey, but she's cool. We're both holding our kids. Like it was a fun day. I honestly was a little demoralized, but less than I was the week before. Remember the conversation we had on the last show about being like, whatever, because I kind of was. I just was like, that's just who they are right now. Until they prove me otherwise.
Well, that's the problem, is they reeled you back in. You need that. You cannot let the apathy go, man. You got to retain that apathy.
Oh, it's 1,000% there. Like I should get a tattoo on my chest that says apathetic. Like honestly, like, why not?
I'm dead inside when it comes to the Bengals. Dead.
That's a great word. I'm dead inside. Yep,
1,000%. So let's talk any fantasy impacts. I heard there's that maybe someone got a little choppy chop.
Yeah, I got eliminated.
You're no longer riding.
No, I'm not riding.
Now I'm the only one riding now.
No, at least I didn't lose in week 1. So that was the.
We'll take that.
We'll take that. And I'm going to give you the names of the players on my team because I had because I played in my first ever guillotine league. It's a 20-team league.
Oh,
huge. So these teams are not very good. At the end of the year, they're very good. Like you get 1 or 2 good players. So I had the 17th pick in the draft. Not a great position to be.
That's tough.
My quarterback was Daniel Jones. I had Travion Henderson. I had Rashad Bateman. I had Jahan Dotson. I had Mike Evans. I had Jerry Jeudy. I had Alec Pierce, Evan Ingram, Noah Fant. And I did have Kittle, but he got hurt, so I picked up Jake Tongus or whatever. In this league, tight ends play a huge factor, and there's no cap. I'll explain the league real quick. It's actually a great way to play. You can have 2 quarterbacks if you want. You don't have to.
Yep.
You just have to have 12 players to start, and then it drops to 11, then it drops to 10, then it drops to 9. I think it ends up going to 7 towards the end. So it's really intensive of like who you're going to start. And here's the thing. You don't even have to. The beauty of it is you don't even have to pick who starts. It's just best score, like best ball.
Best ball. Okay, I like that.
So it is actually, you set it and forget it. Like you just have your team. And then, so that's a great thing it was a great thing for me last year because like, I'm super busy, a lot of kids, blah, blah, blah. So I would like, just check it really quick. Like who's on my team? Cool. Got it. Done. And then it was like, my wife would be like, who'd you start this week? I'm like, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. That's so nice. I actually love that. That's cool.
So that takes a little element away from it, but it also takes any of like the worry. It's like, oh shit, did I not start? That guy at flex. It's just that is just like, it is what it is. But I got beat and I lost by 0.5 points.
Hate to see it.
The person that was ahead of me had it was 0.3. 182.4 to 182.1, like in the total score. And then I lost the game head to head and had the least amount of points that week. That's how you get axed.
Yeah.
91.2 to 91.
Well, let's do a post-game coach interview. What would you have done differently? Thoughts on the season? Spike in your face.
Yeah. Every time a situation like this happens, you really think about, I haven't really had a lot of time to reflect. It just happened.
Yeah.
So I think for me, we're gonna learn from this, Jason. I appreciate your question. But we're gonna learn from this, and it's on to Cincinnati.
Going to Cincinnati, baby. I love it. I love it. Let me ask you a question about your Giants. So I was just doing some fantasy takeaways. What's the guy's name's Williams, who had like 10 targets, had a huge game?
Wan'Dale Robinson.
Robinson, excuse me. Is he legit? Because he's in my my free agency pool.
He is, because they're finally using him for what they drafted him for. Yeah. However, biggest contention with Giants fans is George Pickens was on the board when they picked Wan'Dale Robinson. So the arcs of their careers are just like, one's a 1,100-yard receiver, and one is, I won't say the word that people use, but he's a shorter guy, kind of like a Kyler Murray wide receiver. But he really did show the reason why they drafted him is at Kentucky, they used him everywhere. He's built like a freaking pit bull. Like he is, like at 5'8", 195 pounds. I think the dude benches 400 pounds. Like he's a freaking monster. Like he's just like a bowling ball, like a walking muscle. And so like he'll take a shot and just like, crack his neck a little bit and be ready to go.
Yeah.
And they can put him in the backfield. He's quick. So if they use him correctly, partly because they have a number one wide receiver in Malik Neighbors, he can definitely be what you just saw. Now, I don't know if it's fool's gold because the Cowboys are terrible, but I don't know, man. If Russ keeps cooking, or even Jackson comes in, they're gonna be a passing team anyway, because their offensive line was good last week, but they also don't have like a big time running back. They have Tyrone Tracy. They have my boy Cam Scattaboo,
he's a dog,
running dudes over.
He's a dog.
And shout out Angry Runs, NFL Network.
Yes, sir.
Winning that. Yeah, dude. But here's the thing. I love Cam Scattaboo, but my guy, you're not going to know your name in 3 years if you keep playing at this pace.
Insane work.
I know you're trying to set the tone.
I love it.
Take a couple beats. That's all. That'd be my only suggestion.
A little bit of maybe out of bounds might be your friend a little bit, my dude. I love it. This is that time of the year in fantasy where it's like you're trying to find fool's gold versus non-fool's gold. I think Troy Franklin, for example, in Denver's non-fool's gold. I think he's legit. But like you see these, and that's the thing, in week 1 or 2, you'll see a guy go 11 targets, huge game. And it's like, is it legit? I don't know. So that's kind of been me in fantasy, and I've been just chucking around waiver claims left and right.
Yeah, I think Wan'Dale's safe because he's always going to be second fiddle to Malik. But I also think take deeper fantasy leagues. Don't be afraid to try to pick up Darius Slayton and just stash him, because
I was thinking the same thing.
That dude has a ton of speed. In his rookie year, he had like 9 touchdowns and like 800 yards, and he averaged like 25 yards a catch. So if they can find a way to get him involved, especially, listen, the Giants are going to be behind in games quite frequently because their defense is not very good. I know everyone says like, hey, that defensive line, give up 40 points.
Yeah.
Slow down. If you have defensive players in your league, definitely go get Burns because he has like 4 sacks in 2 games. Yeah. They're going to get their sacks, but I don't think that's going to translate into game records. Like they don't have that right now. They just don't.
1,000%. Love it. Do you want to get into, I think it's time for you to take a victory lap. You're taking some beatings with your Giants. Okay, we made picks last week. Okay, and we had 3 picks that differed. Okay, you took the Pats over the Dolphins. I took the Dolphins. You took Philly. I took Kansas City. You took Carolina. I took Arizona. So you went 2-1 in the pick'em games.
I can't believe I took Arizona. I can't believe I took Carolina. I should totally have. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. But then they almost came back and won. They had the ball on 5.
You got to make a take. They almost got back in it. You got to make a take because I went all chalk and I deserve to lose in this situation. So you get your victory lap here. So that's week 1. You got your Corso win.
Yep. And not so fast, my friend.
And it's about to be week 3, our week 2, and we got some games to pick, my friend.
That's right. Let's go over them right now. So 1 p.m. games. You see them scrolling across the screen if you're watching right now.
Let's go.
1 p.m. Atlanta at Carolina. Who you got?
Atlanta, Michael Penix.
I'm going Atlanta because of, remember this name, University of Tennessee. My lovely wife, definitely a Vol. James Pierce Jr., defensive end, is an absolute game record. And they have another first-round pick. Bryce Young, get rid of it quick, bro, because they're coming for your head. Atlanta.
Yep, Atlanta all day.
Green Bay at Cleveland.
Dude, Cleveland's terrible.
They really are.
You pick Cleveland, you're out of your mouth.
Green Bay. Houston at Jacksonville. It's an interesting game.
This one's interesting. Give me Jacksonville.
Give me Houston coming off of a close loss.
Yeah,
that's a very I like Houston, and CJ Stroud is, I don't know, man. I just think Jacksonville's gonna Jaguar at some point in this.
You're not wrong. Are you selling Stroud's downfall, or what? Were you not panicking?
No, I like CJ Stroud. I didn't love him coming out of college, and that was obviously a really bad take. But yeah, he's in that. Troy Aikman was talking about it during the game. He's in that crossroads of like, all right, so we win the division. We get to a certain point. Like, it's like we have to win it. We have to get to a Super Bowl. And they do have the pieces, man. They really do. They have a good number one. They have Nico Collins. They have good secondary pieces. They have decent tight ends. Their offensive line protects him. They just picked up Nick Chubb, right? Their defense is really good with Will Anderson, and he's a game wrecker. They have Derek Stingley Jr. as a shutdown corner. So like,
good roster.
Jalen Petrie is a really good safety out of Baylor. Like, they have a really good roster. So if they don't at least take that next step this year, and honestly, to me, the AFC is completely wide open and we're going to get to the Chiefs in a little bit because they play my Giants. The Chiefs are cooked, bro. Mark this down here. 10:26 a.m. on February.
Playoffs?
On February? No, September 19th. Playoffs? Maybe.
Okay. I thought I was going to get you a playoffs take.
You know what? Fuck it. They're not making the playoffs.
No playoffs.
Playoffs? No. They're trying to win a freaking game. That's the truth. They are trying to win a freaking game. No,
I say they
done.
make the playoffs. I'll put that on the board. But it's ugly, man. It's ugly.
And here's how they make the playoffs, with the NFL's help.
There's a conspiracy theory.
No, and I saw someone make that same take, bro, like much later after we did it, and you were definitely the first one.
And then the more the Dolphins go off the rails, like that Dolphins locker room is miserable right now.
I know, absolutely. All right, let's keep the picks going. Cincinnati at Minnesota.
Man, what's Browning gonna do, baby?
I'm going Cincinnati.
Give me Carson Wentz.
Okay. Anytime you're playing against Carson Wentz, you have to go the other way. Sorry. All right. Pittsburgh at New England.
You killed me last week, New England. Man, Miami killed me. Pittsburgh at New England. I'm gonna say that Rodgers gets it done. I'm taking Pitt.
I'm riding my boy Ace's money line pick. New England. Let's go.
We got a good week this week. This is gonna get spicy.
Yep. Okay. Rams at Philly. I'm going Philly. It's 2-0 teams.
Yeah, I can't.
You can't take. No, Philly's 19-1 in the last 20 games.
They're so freaking good, dude. You at home, you can't.
It makes me sick to my stomach saying that, but that's okay. Jets at Bucks.
Jets and Bucks. Give me Bucks. I'm a big Baker guy. Yeah.
Bucks. Indy at Tennessee.
Tennessee's terrible. Give me Indy. Your boy.
Give me the Titans and number one pick. Cam Ward to give Daniel Jones that first L of the season, which he should have got last week, but some dummy on their defensive line did a leverage play and gave Indy 15 extra yards. They should be 1-1. They're going to get their first loss.
I like
Tennessee
that.
at home, man. Tennessee at home. Listen, Indy's good. They have a good team, but the trust me, we're going to get into Daniel Jones in a second here, but I think they lose. Last one of 1:00 games, Raiders at Washington.
Commanders, baby. Come on.
Yep. Yeah. I'm going to go Washington.
4 games, though. That's good for us.
I like it.
Thank God we're getting to Danny Dimes.
All right, we're back. Hey, real quick, before we get into the 4 p.m. games, I'm going to share something really quick. It is I wouldn't call it an ad. It's more of like a promo. As you guys know, Big East Energy Network, our sister company, is very heavy into the college basketball world. Check out Dan Hurley's new book. It is where you can get it on anywhere on Amazon. Pre-order it now. Comes out September 30th. Check this out real quick. What's up, everyone? Has there ever been a more football style coach in college basketball than Dan Hurley? Like, Dan Hurley should probably coach football as a second career. The reason why do I say all this, and why am I talking about Dan Hurley on a football podcast? Because Dan Hurley wrote a book, and we want you to check it out. He has a book out with Ian O'Connor. It is a phenomenal account of his life, leadership, and what it takes to be great. If you're a Bengals fan, definitely go get this. This dude is right in your corner. Houday Nation. Listen, there is not a more genuine person in terms of telling you exactly how he feels than Dan Hurley, and you're going to understand why when you talk about his father and his upbringing. So Dan Hurley, Ian O'Connor, September 30th. Check it out. If you're an NBA fan, you can also check out, man, this guy came real close to being the Lakers coach. All in that first 30, 40 pages. Check it out. All right, we're back. Great book. Dan Hurley, never stop. Good stuff. On to the 4 p.m. games. We're going to keep this show rolling. Denver at the LA Chargers.
Give me LA, baby.
Same. Yeah, I don't trust Bo Nix on the road. No way.
No, hell no.
New Orleans at Seattle.
Yeah, New Orleans sucks.
Seattle.
Yeah.
These next two will be interesting. We'll see who we pick here.
See what we got.
Dallas at Chicago.
Give me Chicago, baby. Caleb Love bounce back.
I'm going to go against you there, not because I actually think Chicago is going to win that game. But I'm just going to go Dallas because they're the better team, and they should win that game. But if Chicago has any chance of kind of making the Bears fans not want to jump off the Chrysler building, then they got to win that game.
Ugly, dude.
All right, last one: Arizona, San Francisco.
Got to go San Fran, I think, in this one. But that's interesting though. This one's interesting.
I'm gonna go Arizona because the reason why I'm going to Arizona is because I think they're and I'm going against our boy Ace here. That's probably not a good thing since he's been on a heater. But I'm staying there. I'm gonna go Arizona.
Yeah, I love it. I don't feel good about that one for San Fran. That's gonna be a good game.
All right, we'll skip the Sunday night games. We'll get to that in 1 second. The Monday night game, Detroit versus Baltimore. Great game.
Awesome game. I'm gonna say Lamar gets it done under the bright lights today.
It's in Baltimore. I put versus, but that's not a neutral site game. I'm gonna say the same. We're gonna stay the same there.
Tough game. That's a great game. Awesome Monday nighter.
Okay. Let's get into this Sunday night football. Kansas City versus my New York Football Giants.
There's no way he does it, right? There's no way you do
it. No. And here's why.
Okay.
Here's why. Because the NFL still has plans to have Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. Okay. And the only way that she's going to say okay is if the Chiefs are in the playoffs, which I don't think they're going to do. Yeah. And so, but they're also not going to allow this team to go 0-3. They're going to keep that dream alive for at least another week of luring in T-Swizzle to the Super Bowl.
They have so much work to do. You know that they're freaking out right now because this Chiefs team is ugly.
It's ugly, but it's some of it's been like just the kind of shit that happens when things start to decline, like injuries, fluky picks that go the other way. Like that was gonna be a touchdown from Travis Kelce. It gets picked, goes the other way, game's over. I just think again, like your pick of them wasn't unsound. It just they just the Eagles are kind of like the new Chiefs. Like they're everything that they do seems to work out. And I know this isn't part of the topic, but let's get into this really quick.
Yeah.
Tush push or no tush push?
I mean, I'm for it. Like, what are you going to do? It's football. You know what I mean?
But it's but have you seen some of these videos, bro? Like, it's a false start every time.
See, if it's a false start, then no tush push. Yeah. And it's almost hard to I'm with you
Yeah, I
on
mean,
that.
like
That's fair.
if
You gotta do
if
it
they're
legally.
coming off the line at the same time, then but I also feel like too, it's like there used to be a rule where like you couldn't push the player. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember? I don't know if you're younger than me, but when I was like, I don't remember. Like, this is Charlie Weiss at Notre Dame, and
Oh
this is
wow.
like, I'm being serious. Like that Notre Dame team never used to wear the green jerseys.
Yeah.
Very special, like once in a decade, once
Yep.
in 20 years. So they roll out against number one USC and Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush in those green jerseys, and people lose their ever loving minds. And
Mm-hmm.
they played like a top team, and they were also undefeated, and they were 1 yard away from upsetting that fucking
Mm-hmm.
dynamite team that USC had,
Crazy USC
except
teams. Yeah.
Reggie Bush pushed Matt Leinart into the end zone. And everyone was like, you can't do that. And they didn't call it. But that
Mm-hmm.
was in the rules that you couldn't push someone in the end zone.
Damn. Okay. I
I'm just
mean,
saying, like, so there's always been kind of like this weird, like, but also you could look at it the other way. Don't offensive linemen, when a running back's like held up, push to get them further yardage?
that's
Like,
what I always thought. Yeah,
I see
exactly.
it both ways. Like, but
Yeah.
on the ball just seems a little like
It's a good question.
try to trick the system. You know what I mean? Which is
It's a
fine
good
if they let you
question.
do it.
Mm-hmm. It's a good question. I mean, it's an offense's league, though. I mean, if you're the defense, like, fucking push back or don't let them get in that position. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. As a competitor, I'm like, fucking defend it. If it's a false start, then yeah.
But here's the thing, like, do you know now? Like, I didn't even know this too. Like, because last year in the Super Bowl, or like, no, it was in the NFC Championship game. I think the Rams tried to like, jump over the line multiple times, like to
Yeah.
discourage them from doing that.
Right.
And then, like, if they do it again, it's going to result in like a touchdown.
Crazy. See, that's crazy. That's too much.
It's like, what are we doing here?
You're
Like,
you're gonna need regulation on the tush push, but I think it should still exist. It's weird if it didn't. I feel like.
I think they're going to ban it.
You think so?
Yeah, because like, dude, like when you look at those videos and you see them like at like the center and like almost every offensive lineman looks like they're offsides, and they move even before the center snaps it. I know it's in slow mo, and I know it's probably like, a minimal advantage, but then on top of it, you got, a 250-pound quarterback getting pushed by two guys that weigh 250 pounds too. It's impossible. Like it's just not something that you can stop.
What about tush push versus tush push? Why don't some safety start
That
pushing
would be
some tushes
cool.
back?
That would be cool. Like where like everybody's pushing each other.
A lot of tushes getting pushed there.
The tushes getting
I'm
pushed.
not gonna. Yeah.
No. We're
Dangerous
gonna move on.
territory here.
Dangerous territory. Yeah, that'd be fourth, and we're never on the air again. No. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think Kansas City wins this game because
Yeah,
they're just not going to let them go in 3. And also on top of it, the Giants just aren't that good. They had a good game against the Cowboys, but they also gave up 40 points. I don't know, man. Like I'm so take the show. Take it away. Tell me why.
I just need the Giants are not that good soundbite into eternity. I need that on the intro. The Giants just aren't that good.
They're just not that good.
Great soundbite.
You are who you are. Bill Parcells used to say all the time. We are who we are.
Who we
If you're an
thought
0-2, no, we're an 0-2 team. You're an 0-2 team. You suck.
Yeah. We let him off the hook. No, but I think going back to Mahomes, my last take on that, he's going to be good enough to keep the season on the rails. He'll get you 10 wins. They're not going to be dominant. Now if we start talking Tyreek, then you got me. Then I'm all in. Then I'll come on here with the Taylor Swift, like, you know what I mean? I'll be out here going crazy. Half Russell Wilson, half Danny Dimes. I know this is terrible math, and then like half Chiefs. I'll be locked in.
I will write this down. If the Chiefs make the playoffs, I will wear a Taylor Swift shirt on the air.
Whoa! If they make the playoffs, it's crazy.
And I'm not even I'm not a T-Swizzle hater. I just don't. I mean, I'm 44 years old. I don't think I'm getting into Taylor Swift music anytime soon.
No,
although my daughter's turning 1 on Saturday, maybe she'll be into Taylor Swift in the future. And
you're ready to eat those words, my guy.
Your boy will be at a T-Swizzle concert.
Keep an open mind, my friend.
Cashing in his 401k to get tickets. So I think that's it for today, brother. I think we did a good job. I think we covered everything we need to cover. You got any parting words for NFL fans everywhere?
I want to take a knee before, I drop back with Tua late in the game here. I think I'm just going to take the knee, get out of here with a win. This is a good podcast. I feel like we're getting into a rhythm here. I feel like week 1, we were a little all over the place, felt good. I'm developing some team chemistry with you, even though you're wearing that shirt.
I know, but we're all. I feel like Bengals fans and Giants fans, like there should be an
I know.
embrace. Like AI should make us a picture of Giants fans, and the picture where like people are holding up the same, like the two different flags of
The two
rival
gangs
gangs.
together. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean we're
Exactly.
together.
My heart's full of hate. You're right. I appreciate that.
I mean, listen, the Bengals don't have anything to hate about. You guys
You're
haven't won
exactly right.
shit. What are we doing here?
It's past trauma. I'm about to go into therapy after this. It's past trauma, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna listen to some Taylor Swift after we get off here. I'm gonna heal, and I'll come back a new man for week 4.
You know what Taylor Swift would say? You got to shake it off. So we'll see you next time
Let's ride.
on Fourth and Forever. Let's ride.